Hi, I'm Nate Wakeford, your masculinity and mindset coach. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of having a life purpose, a mission that compels you to become extraordinary. Now, this is a really important topic because the life legacy, the life purpose, the mission that you choose should be big enough that you can devote your life towards it. Should be big enough that it requires you to grow beyond your current capabilities and to become a better, more extraordinary man. Now, this also has ramifications in attracting women. When a woman comes into your life, she should be complementary to your path and purpose in life. But also, she's going to be more attracted to you if she sees the trajectory that you're on. If your life is promising a greater future for yourself and for her, she's going to be naturally more attracted to you because it paints a picture of a positive outcome for her if she was to devote to you and provide her energy in support of you. She wants to know that the path and the purpose you're on is one where her life circumstances will improve. She's unlikely to be motivated to come towards you if you have no future prospects, if the direction that your life is taking you is to one of derelict and despair. Obviously, no one really wants to follow anyone where their life circumstances are going to diminish in some way. What I've come to understand in my own journey and path is sometimes there's these missions that set you up, that give you the foundations for your grander, divinely inspired mission. These developmental missions might help you to develop skill sets, to become a better leader, to develop your confidence, mastery in some area, and they set you up for the grander, divinely inspired mission that you might not even be able to consider until you've accomplished a certain level of success and momentum in life. See, success breeds more success. When you realize that you have the ability to achieve what you put your mind to, when you know that you can have discipline over an extended period of time, when you know how to develop skill sets within yourself, when you know how to attract a team that will support you in fulfillment of a mission, you start to look for grander and grander opportunities to live at your edge, to find out just how amazing you are as a man, how extraordinary you can become. It really moves beyond just trying to survive into finding out how much you can thrive. So having a lofty ambition is great, and it needs to be to some extent realistic. And it needs to be something that's inspiring to you, something that holds you at your edge of your competence, requires you to learn more skills, and invites the capacity for you to be in flow, where your skill set, the demands of the challenges that you're facing, paired with your resourcefulness, your support, meet each other in a perfect intersection. When you find yourself living at your edge, that's where the greatest fulfillment comes. You know, when you feel that stretch, that expansion, that growth, but not in a way that is discouraging because the difficulty level is up too far for your own level of accomplishment and resourcefulness. And so this is why it's really important for any lofty ambition to break it into smaller chunks, smaller milestones, to develop your skill set, to find out someone who's already got some level of success in that area, to seek mentorship, to seek support from a brotherhood or a mastermind. Because in every great endeavor, there will be moments when you're in the unknown, when you're reaching outside into a territory that you've never been before. And there is where you'll find your growth. There'll be moments when you need to meet yourself, to face your fears, to let parts of yourself dissolve, old identities, old limitations, old restrictions, in order to embrace a new identity and a new possibility, a new outcome in life. What I discovered is that after a significant accomplishment or success, often follows a period where you become complacent because you achieve the lofty ambition and the lofty goal. And if you don't set a new one, then your life will begin to slow down because what you were working and striving towards, what was motivating you, is no longer there. And you need to choose an even higher ambition or possibility, or you will begin to atrophy. So if you stay at the same level, over time, you become bored, you lose motivation, and you lose inspiration. So once you've achieved a lofty ambition, a lofty milestone in the path, the pursuit of your life legacy, the greatest divinely inspired mission that you find yourself on, it's important to look at the next milestone. It's important to choose something that requires you again to develop your skill set, your mindset, your resourcefulness, and often you'll find it requires you to find new knowledge, new wisdom, new mentors, new friendship circles, because there will be a dissolution of the old self as you move beyond the threshold of your previous limitation into new territory. Sometimes these moments can become lonely because you need to attract people that are going to be consistent and empowering to you on your path. Often, especially in the early stages, when you outgrow a previous identity, you will find that you start to let go of friends that are committed to the limitations that you've now transcended, that hold beliefs, that hold identities that are not a congruent fit for where you're going. And that's okay. It means that the relationship has concluded, has served its purpose, and some of those friends will come with you, and that's fantastic, and I wish that for you. But if you're a high achiever, if you're becoming extraordinary, you want to be surrounded by people who are on that same path. You will not be wanting to be surrounded by people that do not share your same motivation, your same zeal, zest for life, the pursuit of extraordinary. You want running mates, teammates that are pursuant of the lofty ambitions that you've set for yourself. This is why it's so important to choose your friends wisely, to choose your partner wisely, and you want to find those who are complementary to creating an extraordinary life. They will support you in their frequencies, their resourcefulness, their connections and networks, their outlook on life. See, high achieving people, when they meet challenges, when they meet obstructions, when they even occasionally have setbacks, they're very self-correcting. They will quickly bring themselves back into a resourceful state, a state of empowerment, as quickly as possible. They're likely to be more disciplined, more consistent, even in times when they might experience an injury or a setback. They will find a way to adapt and to keep moving forward, to keep growing. So this is a really important and critical aspect of the masculine frame. It requires not only a consistent effort, a consistent maintenance to keep it at the level that you've created, it actually requires you to continue to grow, to continue to evolve. Because, as I mentioned before, the moment that you stop investing and growing is the moment you begin to atrophy. And there's a degradation of frame that happens when you do so. So another thing that I recommend is to have times of review. When you achieve a milestone, when you achieve a lofty ambition, reflect and review what worked, what needs to improve, what needs to change, and what would be the next milestone or ambition you're committing to. And there's one last point I want to emphasize here is that there are cycles and seasons in creation. There are phases you go through. And I Ching explains this, and there's an interesting model that I like called wealth dynamics, that you go from water, which is spirit, which is the why of your existence, into what, which is the idea, creating a physical object, into who, building a team that supports you, into when, organizing timing of processes and critical moments to gain consistency, the development of systems, which brings you into how, which is the breaking down of processes, the elimination of what doesn't work, the refinement and improvement to what works better. And this is where you go back into why. So you go through the process of why, what do you stand for, into what, into who, into when, and into how. And you need to move through these cycles, and there's also overlapping seasons to these, which are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. When you can really create in a way that considers these different phases, you can create in a sustainable way. And it will be a beautiful complement to you when you find yourself in a winter phase that you're not trying to expand and grow. You're instead in a place of review and reflection and eliminating what is no longer appropriate, such that you can have a fertile ground, a fertile soil to plant the new ideas and to create an even more profound and extraordinary outcome for yourself. I hope this video has been useful. If you'd like my support into increasing your level of success in life, into improving the quality of your relationships, in developing your masculine frame, in committing to a legacy and a life path where you'll become more extraordinary in every way, reach out to me. My details are in the captions below. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.